Joining us here on set is Karl Widerquist, economist and professor of philosophy. We'll dig into that in a second at Georgetown University. Thank you for joining us. So Trump's stated goal for these tariffs is really twofold as far as I can make out, right? It was to reduce or eliminate tariffs from Canada and bring manufacturing back to the U.S. So force companies that are manufacturing various things, such as cars, but not only, in other countries, force those countries to companies to relocate to the U.S. So these two things, bring down tariffs from other countries, force manufacturing to come back to the U.S. With those goals in mind, can Trump's tariffs work?
Well, remember, this is also happening against the background of a third goal that he's talking about, annex Canada.
Yes.
And that is a breakdown of the post-World War II order. It's a threat of violence if it's a country that clearly does not want to be annexed by the United States. Maybe it's just hyperbole, but it's really unacceptable in the way we've lived since the end of the Second World War. Now,
but if you want to start with the annexation threats, is that, how do you view that? Is that political theater? Is it a pressure tactic, or is it sort of a declining empire or lashing out? What is it?
Well, he's gotten to the point where people don't really know what he means, and we shouldn't just simply assume he means the least dangerous thing. So this is very scary that he's threatening violence against our northern neighbor, our best friend.
And as far as winning a trade war that he initiated, can it work? Well,
it's very unlikely to work. What you do when you introduce tariffs for these kind of goals, bringing back manufacturing and reducing the trade deficit, is the first thing you do is you raise prices. You raise prices on everybody who buys that good. Now, when you do it, and when you do it on something as basic as steel and aluminum, that means you're raising prices on most of American manufacturers. And when you protect an industry with tariffs, you're protecting the weakest industries. You're protecting the industries in your country that are unable to compete with foreign competition right now, that are doing poorly. And then to do this, if you do it on basic goods like this, you're harming the industries that are doing well. Virtually every industry is going to use some steel and some aluminum. You're going to make everything more expensive for them to begin with. Then the next thing that happens is that people who own steel and aluminum manufacturing in the United States make more money. Then maybe
that's
they'll
the Trump
produce,
argument, right?
They'll make more money. They'll be able to raise their price.
It could hurt us in the short term, which is what you described, but it will ultimately help us more in the long term. That's what he says.
It'll help you if you own steel manufacturing and you own aluminum manufacturing. Then it'll help you. Now, if you work there, maybe it'll help you because maybe those companies that are making more money will expand production. Maybe they won't. And then maybe these benefits will trickle down first to the people who work in those industries and then maybe to other industries. But they have to make up for all the higher costs that they've imposed on all the other industries, which are going to be passing those on to consumers. So it's really unlikely to see benefit for American people to this for a long time, not to mention the retaliation.
Okay, Karl Widerquist, economist and professor of philosophy at Georgetown University. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.